sir.
Yes. As we know that we all can see the different kind of birds, different kind of plants, different kind of animals. Since I have given so many examples in the last chapter, every animal, there is a different shape and their different size, and their living places is different, means in the sense of their habitats are different. Some are living in domestic and some are living in forest, some are living in water, some are living in mountains, some are living in somewhere ocean, like that. Their living habitats, living places is not same for every organism. Will you accept it?
Yes,
Some
sir.
plants are grown in land, some plants are grown in water. That is, some animals will come in water as well as in land, like that. So I cannot say which is. Because of that, I can say that. So every organism, if you take, they have a different shapes and different sizes, and as well as their food habits and habitats are also. Is it same or different? Ready? Their food habits and
Sir?
is it their food habits and habitats also same or different?
I think it is different, sir.
I think not. What are you talking? Is it? Are
It
you?
is of
What
course
are you
different,
eating?
sir.
Reddy, you tell me. What are you eating?
Sir, food,
Definitely,
sir.
you will eat maybe parota
Rice.
or maybe rice or something, which all the humans will eat. Is it all the animals are eating the same food which are you consuming?
No, sir. They are eating like
That is what. Is it all are you are living on the land? Is it all the animals and all the plants are living on the land?
No, sir.
No. So we have so many number of millions of species on this earth. Every species has its uniqueness. Every species have its different size, different shape, and their food habits, and as well as their living places. Means in the sense of what we should call living places called as
Habitat.
just now I said.
Habitat.
Habitats are everything different. Correct or not, Shruti? Yes. So now, in spite of great variations in the size, shape, food habits, and as well as habitats, or etc., so-called like 4 legs, 2 legs, like etc. This all the living organisms, everything common name. What is the common name of this one? All the plants, all the animals, all the birds, all the etc., everything together. Maybe there are great variations. Some animal very big, some animal very small, some animal medium size, some may eat only non-veg, some may eat both veg and non-veg, some may eat only veg. That doesn't matter. Great variations in their size, in their consumption of food habits, and as well as habitats. But they all are called as what? If they have a life, we used to call them at what, Shruti?
Living organism.
Living organism. So every matter in this universe has been segregated into first step is 2 things. One is living organisms and another one is what? Non-living organisms.
Non-living organisms.
Later living organisms has been classifying into plants, animals, etc. But all these under together, maybe they have a, in spite of great variations of their way of living, understanding, on their habitats, on their food habits, etc. But all these are under what? All these are under
Living
basic similarity. There is a similarity between them. That is what our chapter name. They all are made up of, if you take like cow, if you take horse, if you take camel, if you take lion, elephant, mosquito, housefly, they may look different. The size may vary, their food habits may vary, their habitats may be varies, but all are having a similarity. Like if you take banana tree, coconut tree, mushroom, cabbage, sunflower, marigold, whatever it is, rose plant, whatever it is, oak plant, oak tree, everything you can take. So there is a common similarity, a basic similarity among them. That is what we should call it as. They all are made up of what? A tiny units, which we used to call it as what? Cell. That is the common thing. So what is the similarity, the basic similarity among all the living organisms? Cells. That is what you should understand. So, thus, in biology, cells are the...
But plant cell and animal cell varies, no, sir?
It will vary. That is what I am saying. But the common name is called as what? The cell is segregated into animal cell and plant cell. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Where is what? Maybe they may don't have a mitochondria and they have a mitochondria. Like one or two similarities, that dissimilarities. That's
It's a
all
cell
right.
wall like that.
Yes, yes. But a basic one, basically that all the cells we used to call as what? Types of cells, cell only, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that is what? That is what the similarity. So that is why in biology we can say if living organism wants to sustain here and it wants to functional, means this is a basic unit of understanding. Cells are the structural and functional units of life. What we can say? Structural and functional unit of life. Means
Functional.
the body wants to
Building units of bodies.
your body looks like this, my body looks like this, my hand looks like this, animal look like this, plant look like this. So whatever doesn't matter. So everything is made up of a small cells, a tiny cells called as, tiny particles called as what? Cells only. That is why we can say that is a similarity, basic similarity among all the living organisms, because all are made up of a tiny units called as cells. Please note it down. Do you understand? A tiny units called as what? Cells. So that is what we can say. That is the reason why we can say cells are the structural and functional units of life. Do you understanding all of you, Shruti?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is the reason why we should study. This is the basic unit of life. I can say a basic unit of life is cell. So every living organism is made up of these cells. Without these cells, we cannot say that it is a living organism. So in order to understand the structure and functioning of an organism, we should know the structure of cell, how the human is thinking, how the lion is hunting, how the fish is swimming, how the coconut is growing, how the water is forming inside the coconut, how the mushroom is, even though it is a plant, why can't it produce food like this? If you want to understand the structure and functioning of an organism, you may understand by this time why we should study this, why we should study cell structure and function. Can you able to say? Johan, just now I am
Yes,
saying.
sir.
Why we need to study this chapter? What is the purpose of this chapter?
We should know how the lions are attacking and how we are
functioning and cell formation, how the structure is present inside this living organism. What is the specialty of that? Why the coconut trees looks like this? Why the humans are looks like this? Why the lion is looks like this? Why the beetles are looks like this? Why the flower is like this? Why the butterfly is like this? Means you have to understand the structure and functioning. I can ask you, why butterfly is always having like this? Why can't it is another shape? Why the lion is always like this? Why can't a lion can eat plants like that? My mind will say that why ants will bite, why snake will bite, why few snakes are poisonous. That is what. If you really want to understand the structure and functioning of any organism, we should know the structure of the cell and as well as functions of various parts of the cell. Is it yes or no? So as we know,
Yes,
first we should know if you want to understand me, you must know my cell. You must know the structure of my cell, because my body is made up of what? My body is made up of cells only. So you must know you must know the structure of my cells, and as well as the cell is already made up of inside so many subparticles are there. Subparticles of the cell. So these particles is having a different functions, means they will operate different kind of works which is useful to the human. So we must know all the works, or else all the functions has been carried by these parts of the cells. So that is what we should learn. We have to study in this chapter. So finally we have concluded that everything is made up of tiny units called as cells. So if you want to understand any organism, you have to know the structure and as well as functions of the various parts of the cell. So that is the reason in this chapter, what is our chapter name? Cell structure,
and function.
functions. In this chapter, we will discuss, or else we will study the basic parts of the cells. What is that? Basic parts
Basic
of
parts
the cell. If I take the coconut tree, if I take the another tree, if I take the human, understand human cell, if I take the fish. So if you'll observe this, what is the basic parts of these cells and what kind of role played by these parts Understanding in working of cells. What is the use of this part? Suppose my cell is having some part. What is the use of it? What kind of role it is operating in working of a cell? That is what we should know. Do you understand, Ingra?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes or no? So that is the purpose of this chapter. In this chapter, we are going to study the basic structure of cell and the parts which it is present inside the basic cell. What is the role of them in working of a cell? That is what the main purpose of a chapter. So we will go further and study how the cell was discovered, who has discovered. I think scientist names also you already studied, correct?
Robert Hooke.
Robert
Yes.
Hooke, sir.
Robert
Yes,
Hooke,
yes.
sir.
So, who has discovered the cells and how they analyzed? Who should know the meaning of understanding? Like in the sense of who has been discovered, how have they have been analyzed? These all the things you must know. So that is all we'll study in the coming classes. But now you should know the meaning of the term. I will ask you one word, last question. That is, what is the meaning of cork?
Yes. What is the meaning of?
Meaning of cork? C-O-R-K, cork.
Dead, sir. Dead.
Ah,
Dead,
CO?
sir. Dead.
Actually, this is what used in the discovery of cell. With this only cell has been discovered. That is what I am asking. What does it mean? What is the meaning of car? And this is what the car is used in discovery of cell. So please tell me.
Dead cell, sir.
So, yes, very good. Cork is a dead plant material. What is that? Cork is a dead plant material. So cork is a part of a bark of a tree. What is that? Bark.
Bark
of
You know bark. That is what. Please note it down. You must
Yes,
know the
sir.
meaning here. Under this chapter, keep heading and you write cork. Cork means what? Dead plant material.
Dead cell.
Dead plant
plant
material, not animal. Dead plant material. It is a part of the bark of a tree. It is a part of the bark of a tree.
Bark.
Bark.
It is a part of the bark of a tree which was used in the discovery of cell. Which was used in the discovery of cell. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is. So, this is all about the introduction of it. So, the next immediately, as we know that if you want to analyze this cell, then somebody should be discovered because it is not invented, because it is already existed from millions years. Whenever the species started, it has been started. But who has been discovered?
Sir, in dinosaurs.
Yes. Discovery of cells. Discovery of cells. Please keep it.
Robert Hooke, sir.
Discovery of cells. So in our textbook also, if you open, some black and white image is there. Have you noticed it? Cork cells.
Where, sir?
Robert Hooke's drawing of cork cells is there in our textbook. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir. Bark.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Observed by Hooke.
Yes. I think page number also you can see. If not, if you want to show me, I will show you.
No, sir. We saw.
Yeah, you can. If you want, you can see. Maybe better than your textbook. I have a better view. So if you want, you can see. This is what Robert Hooke's structure of a car. Is it exactly in our? Is there? Check it. Similar.
Yes, sir.
picture is there?
Somebody is
sir.
matching.
Similar.
Somewhat
picture.
matching, sir.
What?
Somewhat
Somebody
matching.
is matching.
What it is matching? Oh, really? Is it? I won't
Yes, sir.
believe it. Yesterday I have seen it is not. It is not. It is matching.
No, sir. Somewhat related.
Not that the shape and
Page number சொல்லங்கப்பா.
Sir, it is like honeycomb, sir.
106, sir.
Page number 106.
Yes, sir.
Ray, this side is 7.2. First picture you see, Ray. First picture,
Yes, sir. That only, sir.
honeycomb arrangement. This is also similar, Ray. This is original one and this is a modified one. That is why this looks like it. Cork cell has observed by Hooks. Understand? Actually, cork cell has observed by Hooker Rooker. What is his name? That is, you should not.
Yes, sir.
Robert Hooke.
Robert
So,
Hooke.
they have been kept. What is that name below? They have kept cork cell observed by Robert Hooker.
Cork cell observed by Hooke.
You should not keep that. Robert Hooke's drawing of cork cell. Actually, he has been not observed. He has been drawn. By observing, he has been drawn. That is what this is the drawn picture of Robert Hooke's. Do you understand, Ra? That is
Yes, sir.
that is like a modern picture. Now they have been modified. This is the real picture which has been observed, which has been drawn by Robert Hooke.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it is similar only. No, it's just so now you can see this is what you can remember. This picture is known as what we should call
Robert Hooke's drawing.
of cork cell. Robert Hooke's drawing of cork cell. Now, when he has been discovered, any idea, any name, year name?
165.
What?
38.
160.
11665. That is what? Remember,
Yes, sir.
not 18. So 11665. Is it mean that before there is no cell? Before 165?
No, sir, it was
No, sir, it was there, but they don't know what is it.
So during this year, an English scientist, what is his name called as?
Robert Hooke.
Robert Hooke's. Correct? So an English
Yes, sir.
scientist name called as Robert Hooke's has been discovered.
not, sir. Hook, sir.
Hooke's, H-O-O-K-E, correct? Oh, sorry. H-O-O-K-E-S. Okay. Robert
No, yes, sir. Only E, sir.
Huh?
Hooks. So
Only
yes, it comes
E,
as
sir.
Robert
No,
Hooke.
yes, sir.
No, yes, apostrophe S, Ra, apostrophe S. It is not
Okay.
yes. Apostrophe. It is indicating what?
Okay, sir.
Singular.
Okay.
Singular, right? Is indicating. Okay, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So, in 1665, an English scientist named what? Robert Hooke.
Robert
Did
Hooke.
Microscope. What is that? Microscope.
Microscope.
He investigated the structure of a thin slice of a cork, and he has observed that cork has a tiny compartments like a honeybee, which I have observed in our textbook. He has been observed that it is having a thin cork of this one. It has been observed tiny compartments.
They say it is crude microscope, sir.
Yes, yes.
It's a
Observe
basic
crude
microscope.
microscope.
What?
Crude microscope.
Okay, that is okay. Normally, by the time it is okay. So that is what he has observed and investigated the structure of a thin slice of cork, and he has been found that what a tiny compartment he has been observed. So Robert Hooke thought of these compartments as what? A small rooms, and that only he has been called as what? The small rooms. He has been considered as this. Every small hole has been called as, every compartment he used to called as a small rooms. What we should call? A
Small room.
So the small rooms only he has used to called as a name called as what?
Cell.
Do you understand, all of you? So
Yes,
the
sir.
small rooms only he has used to called as cells. He has first has been called as a small rooms, and later he has been called as cells only. That is what we used to call as cells in present days. But these compartments are very, very small, looks like a rooms. That is why he has called as cells, because all the cells are very small rooms in which prisoners are locked up, in which monks and nuns can sleep.
The
Prisoners.
black and white marks are called as cells.
What?
Black and white marks
Ah,
are known as cells.
Which one? This is not white one. Middle we have a black one. Correct? That is called as cell. This each one is called as one cell. Do you understand? This each part is called as one cell. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what he said. So what he has said means, so this he has been observed that this cork piece, which is looks like a very, very small compartment rooms, and that is only he has called as cells. And he has been said that because it looks like where like our Indian monks or else prisoners, means those who has like a jailer, whom then we can call as like
Prisoners.
yeah, prisoners, those who has been done some kind of illegal activities. So he has been compared. Why he has been called as a cells means, because basically police station, what we should call, he has been celled, means we'll keep inside the cell. Police station we used to call as cell only, correct, where the prisoners has been locked, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Jail.
that is why he has been called as a cell, because he has thought that all the prisoners, means like in a small rooms where the prisoners has been locked, very very small rooms it will be, correct or not? Prisoners
Yes, sir.
and the monks and the nuns where they will sleep, it is also similar to these small rooms. That is the reason why from that observation only Robert who concluded that cork is made up of very small rooms. That is only he used to call it as what? Tiny cells.
Cells.
What we should call?
Tiny
Tiny cells. So this cell word, tiny cell, this cell word is came from where?